My name is Karina Emmerich, designer, artist, and founder of Emmy, a small, slow fashion clothing line based in the occupied territories of Lenapehoking, also known as New York City. My family is originally from the Pacific Northwest Coast Salish Territory Puyallup tribe on my father's side. When I was initially contacted to share a message as a part of this summit, I was taken aback and wondered what role I am filling in the summit's grasp for inclusivity. But as someone who has been passed down the responsibility to be a protector of our lands, this is an opportunity for me to step forward and call for accountability. Many of you are just yelling into an echo chamber with this pat on the back mentality for creating sustainable initiatives without also taking responsibility. The more I have learned about working within this industry, the more problematic and toxic it's become, learning that exploitation seems to be the only way to succeed in this industry. We've created a white supremacist-centered industry built on the backs of people who have very few rights, very poor working conditions, and unfair pay. Our excessive demand to buy things cheap comes at a human cost. If we continue to view people as numbers on a cost sheet, we are participating in the violence and destruction of our own humanity. If we continue with harmful production practices, we are participating in the violence and destruction of our own lands. The name of this summit was changed from redesigning growth to redesigning value, because growth is an inherently unsustainable practice. So how do we create genuine value? It's not simply about products anymore, it's about the stories and the people behind them. As designers, we are storytellers. Our words and actions hold power, and we have to create a standard of value for every creation, every person, every word, and every action that we take. For me, getting down to the root of my presence as a being and what and how I contribute to this world is my form of radical sustainability. But my commitment does not stop there. I believe in the sustainable representation of Indigenous people in all arenas. As Indigenous people, we are stewards of the land, and we have a responsibility to uphold that commitment. Indigenous people make up 4% of the population of the world, yet we are protecting 80% of the world's biodiversity. This is not a heroic statistic. It is loaded and violent. We have to stop looking at the earth and its people as resources for extraction. What the earth provides does not solely belong to us. We have to recognize and participate in our own global ecology and acknowledge the inherent balance of all forms of life. While the fashion industry has now started adopting the concept of circularity in response to the monstrative effects of industry and colonization, credit needs to be placed where credit is due. Circularity is an inherently Indigenous concept that has existed since time immemorial. It is not a new idea, and it certainly should not be our next buzzword. In the authentic global sustainability movement, we are innately aware of the need to diversify the spaces we occupy, to take actionable steps to amplify the voices of Black and Brown people, the original stewards of the land, in order to work towards restorative and regenerative solutions. In an industry that is currently more focused on the commodification of diversity rather than giving up your seat at the table, I am here to demand that we start listening to each other with respect and gratitude. Inclusivity is not a trend, it is an action. Now is the time for us to start dismantling the systems of oppression built up around us, and to start working together to create radical change within this industry. This is the only way to move forward and to truly create lasting value.